Hey there, it's the Granny, and I'm back. And today I will be doing a deck breakdown of my Darkrai Hydreigon deck that I ran at regionals. So yeah, as you can see, this is the complete deck list. Standard deck, really. You see a lot of the normal cards that are being run in this deck, maybe except for the Tool Scrapper. Tool Scrapper is just an occasional tech. Not everybody runs it, but I do find it pretty essential. And the Giratina up there and the Shaman. Some people don't like to run them. I see that it's beneficial to run them, and they do come in handy a lot. So yeah, just like all my other deck breakdown videos, I will be cutting this and then jumping to the Pokemon, how they are ran, and then trainers. And I'm not going to do energy. I'll probably talk about it and why I use it. Mainly like for the blend here. Why the blend? Not a lot of people see why blend, but blend is really good for this instance. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and jump to the Pokemon, and I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, so I'm back and I'm gonna have the Pokemon breakdown for this deck. I'm gonna start with the EXs because or actually no, we're gonna start with the Hydreigon line because the Hydreigon line is the main key for this deck. So I run three dark, and there's a glare, I'm sorry, three dark dinos. Now, I've seen people run one dino with the deep growl attack, I believe, where you flip a coin, if heads, you paralyze, and that is really good. I like it, but I decided to run these so I would not get donked turn one by anything, because nothing can really donk you except for maybe a Ho-Oh deck or a Mewtwo, as long as they have a couple energy switches and they got to get 4 energy on that Mewtwo in turn 1. So yeah, it's really hard to donk this dino, so I like this dino the most, as just because non-donkability. Now I only run one Zweilous, and it is the draw-in Zweilous, and there is a bad glare. I'm going to try to see if I can fix that. There we go, I got it. And this is the draw-in Zweilous. If I run out of dark patches in a match and I still have this Zweilous out, all I have to do is have 1 energy and I can get 2 more energy back, and just hopefully Zweilous does not get knocked out. And that is really great for this deck because you need the dark energy to play. Then I run 3 Hydreigons. Hydreigon is a big staple for this deck, and running 3 is almost essential because half the time you're going to have to at least discard 1, and getting 3 out or getting 2 out is really good, and only having 1 left in your deck is really rough, and it's really hard to find it, but you can still win if you get set up late. Now I'm going to talk about Sableye. I run 2 Sableye in this deck. Lots of people have decided to run 3, even 4 Sableye in this deck, but I find 2 is pretty good. You don't always need a junk hunt in a game. Sorry, my camera was about to fall. I had to fix it. And running with a junk hunt, you don't have to use it, and most of the time you won't use it. I find using junk hunt is maybe if you're just trying to buy a turn, get some stuff back, trying to reset up, or if you just need to get stuff back early on. So junk hunt isn't all that useful for this deck, but it is a necessary card in any dark deck. Now, for mirror matches and Ho-Oh mainly, I am running 1 Sigilyph. I'm going to try to fix it. I know this video is going to be bad because I'm using an iPhone. I don't have a tripod, so I can't do it. So I'm sorry. And I just got a text message, and I got my Mew full art in the mail today. My mom should be sending me the Rayquaza and the Mew within the next day, I guess, and then I should probably have it by Monday, and I'll have a Rayquaza video, Rayquaza deck building video next Friday. So that's good. I run this Sigilyph to counter the Pokemon EXs, as all EXs cannot hit this Sigilyph except for Giratina. Not a lot of people like Giratina. Therefore, this card is really good Especially a lot of Ho-Oh decks don't run a lot of normal attackers. So if you can get Sigalith out there, it's almost a game unless they just catch her around. Next, I run one Giratina. I like Giratina for the effect that Shred, its first attack, can get through the Sigalith ability, and it's also really good against Rayquaza and mirror matches because it's a dragon type and it can knock them out with just 3 energy. So it's really good. I really like Giratina. Not a lot of people like it, but I find it good. The only problem is it takes 2 blend energy to use, and I don't like all that, but that's okay. I also run one Shaman. Shaman is pretty good for this deck because Revenge Blast, late game hitter, you can beat almost anything if your opponent has 1 prize left. And that is just really good. But it does have a low HP, so you have to make sure you play Shaman at the right time. So Shaman is really good, especially for this format. Not a lot of people realized that last format, but now he is just a monster for late game hitting, especially against Terrakion. I run 2 Mewtwo in this deck. Mewtwo is very great. You have to have a Mewtwo in almost every deck. If you do not, you might want to consider it because Mewtwo is probably one of the best cards in the format. Just X-Ball away and whatnot. Only deck I can see not running Mewtwo in is probably Rayquaza, but you could probably find for 1 at least, but you don't have to. And I run 3 Darkrai EX. Darkrai is your main attacker for this deck. You can use Mewtwo, but Darkrai is going to be the person you're going to be attacking a lot with. And Night Spearing for 90 and then hitting 30 on the bench. Night Spear is just ridiculous, and it is a great card. So I really enjoy running Darkrai decks. Darkrai has become one of my favorite Pokemon, and that's from the TCG, so you don't really hear that all that often. But yeah, so that is all the Pokemon for this deck. I believe there's about 17 Pokemon. So yeah, and I'm going to make another jump, and I will be back with the trainers and supporters. So hold on. Okay, I'm back now, and I have my trainers and supporters out. My trainers and supporters are about, I believe, 31-ish. So about 31, about 30 trainers and supporters. Pretty good number for this deck. Really good, I believe. We're going to start out with the tool cards that I have. I run 2 tool cards, and they are both Eviolites. Eviolites are really good. Block a lot of Night Spear damage. You can prevent a Retaliate KO on a Darkrai, and all that. So I really like Eviolite. I only run 2. I've seen people run 3, even 4 in this deck, but I find 2 being fine. You could always junk hunt them back if you have to. So Eviolite's pretty good since it reduces every attack by 20. Next, I run 2 Ultra Balls. Lots of people don't like that idea. They are just like, how do you get set up? How can you get set up with only 2 Ultra Balls? Well, I've been able to set up every game I play only running 2 Ultra Balls. If it's early on, you can always get it back with Junk Hunt. If it's late, my camera's falling again, sorry. If it's late, you might be able to, but Ultra Ball is really good, but I only need to run 2. I find 2 being good. 3 is about pretty good for consistency, but I feel more consistent with 2. That's all that matters. I also run only 2 Level Balls. Once again, this is really low. Most people will run 3. So you can get out Sableye, Dinos, or Zweilous. But I run 2. 2 is perfect amount because usually you might get a Level Ball and a Dino in your hand, and then you have your 2 Dinos. You won't have to double Level Ball for 2 Dinos. And then I can save my last Level Ball for maybe a Zweilous or a Sableye later. So I really like only running 2 Level Balls. Next, since I'm running only 1 Zweilous, I find running 3 Rare Candies is perfect. Because I'm running 3 Dinos and 3 Hydreigons and only 1 Zweilous, I find running 3 Rare Candies is good. Some people might run 2 in this deck, depending on everything else. And most people will run 3. 3 is about pretty good, pretty average right there for 3 rare candies, so I can go ahead and jump up to Hydreigon from Dino. Next, I run 3 catchers. I actually talked to a lot of people, and they said they were only running 3 catchers in this deck. Catcher is really good. Most people will run 4, but I find 3 being really consistent. You won't always need the 4th catcher anyway. The 4th one might just help you with like stalling, I guess. But 3 catchers, very good. Always a crucial card for a deck. And I do have a 4th catcher, but I am saving that. That is not up for trade. Next, I run 3 max potions. Max potion in this deck. I gotta fix my hand, so sorry about that. Max potion in this deck is really good since you can just dark trance it off with Hydreigon's ability, and then you can just max potion away all of the damage that you have on your Pokemon, which is really good because you can get a lot of damage accumulated. Then you can just max potion it off, and it's like, and your opponent just gets upset and is like, why? Like, that's not very fair. But yeah, max potion, pretty good staple. Next, I run 3 dark patches. Dark patch is really good for any dark deck, because if you get dark in the discard, you can basically just reset up with dark patch. Now, I only run 3. Some people will run 4, but 3 is really consistent. I find running 3 allows me for more room for like a Giratina or a Mewtwo and whatnot. So I find 3 being a perfect amount. Next, I run 2 Tool Scrappers. I did have 2 Enhanced Hammers instead of these 2 Tool Scrappers, but I decided to take out the Enhanced Hammer because getting rid of Eviolites, Giant Capes, being able to prevent the Garbodor mainly, and the Eviolite damage on the bench, that is what is more crucial for the Tool Scrapper. So I find running Tool Scrappers the best. And with Tool Scrapper, you do not have to discard your own tool. Some people think you might, but that is not a rule. You do not have to. But if you do play it, you do have to at least discard 1 tool, either yours or your opponent's. So you can't just play it for nothing. Next, for the supporter line, I run 2 random receivers because I am only running 9 supporters. But that's okay. You don't need a crucial amount of supporters. Some people think you do, but I don't think you do. Especially in this format, it's alright if you don't. Your opponent can play it for you, play it with the N and whatnot. So I run 2 random receivers just to make sure I can draw into it though. So random receiver, pretty good card, getting out that supporter line. Next, I run 4 Junipers. If you're not running 4 Junipers in any deck, that's pretty bad. You need to run 4 Junipers for sure. Juniper is one of the main draw cards in this format, and it is great. Allowing you to discard your hand and draw 7 cards. I feel Juniper is one of the best cards in the format. So yeah, really like Juniper. Next, I play 3 in. They're all reverse, which is good. I need to get 2 more full art so I can play it. That'd be nice. But I play 3 in. 3 in is great for this deck. You can falter your opponent by playing it and make them into 1. I mean, I had that happen to me, and it is just crucial, and you will hate it. But yeah, in, great card. Find that running 4 in is really good too. You can run 4 in this deck, but I find 3 being very consistent. And most people will say if you're not running 4 in, what's wrong with you? But I find 3 being okay anyway. So 3 in, great way to use this deck. And my final 2 cards, besides the 12 energy, are 2 Biancas. Bianca is a great card for this deck because you will be playing your hand down a lot in this format, for this deck at least. And using Bianca will be great, as you can just put your hand down to 1 Bianca for 5, and maybe you'll get a rare candy and a Hydreigon out of that. It's really nice. So I really like Bianca, allowing you to draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. Now, I do run 12 energy, 8 are regular energy, and 4 are the blend energies. That's about the average amount for most Hydreigon decks, but I don't really need to talk about them. They're not that important, but yeah, the the only thing that's important about them is the blend energy allows me to be able to attack with Shaman and attack with Giratina or Sigilyph or even Hydreigon. But yeah, they're just in there for those attacks, but mainly you're going to be attacking with this Pokemon right here, the big bad Darkrai. Darkrai is just ridiculous. And I believe Darkrai only won one regional out of 6 in North America, which is very odd. That you would expect it to win more, but an eel variant actually won 5 out of the 6, so that's pretty cool. Nice to see that eels are still really good in this format. So yeah, thanks for watching, you guys. Know the video is a little shaky, but you'll just have to deal with it. I'm not sure what I'll be doing for Monday's video yet. We'll just have to find out. Next Wednesday, I do have another Dragon Vault opening, and next Friday we will be putting together a Rayquaza deck. So stay tuned for that, you guys. Until next time, see ya.